Hey traders, welcome back to another Sunday video. We're taking a look at the markets and some setups for the week ahead. I wanted to start here by taking a look at the euro dollar, which had a very interesting little rebound here from the lows, swinging back last week about 300 pips, which is a pretty incredible move for this pair, considering, usually on a given week, 300 pips would be a pretty large movement for the entire week, and then last week we just sort of had just a crazy level of volatility across the board. So this is awesome for currency traders who sort of trend follow and that sort of thing. This high volatility can create some excellent opportunities for us as traders. And so I wanted to start with the euro dollar and give you guys my thoughts on this one. So I'm still maintaining a bearish bias on this pair. If you guys have seen anything with the Edge Finder, which is our tool that we use to find setups, we've pretty consistently had a bearish reading on the euro dollar cross, the pound dollar cross, etc. for a while. And that's just been mostly playing off of just the heavy momentum to the upside that we've seen with the dollar, which backed by the reasoning behind, the Federal Reserve wanting to raise interest rates and basically the other currencies just getting hammered in response to that. We've seen the COT data also come in for the fresh look at it this week. We still have a very, very high ratio of long contracts open to the long side on the dollar compared to a relatively small short side. So this is paying attention to big money. Smart money is still very long on the dollar, which continues to help push our bias to basically be long the dollar as well. And on the euro, we still stay pretty dang middle ground with 45% short, 55% long. So with that said, just looking at COT data for a second, that gives us a -1 in that category. And as you march down the categories here, you'll see part of the reason why we maintain a bearish bias here. Coming into the month of October, we are starting out our first week of trading in October. We are still forecasted, at least historically speaking, to see a decline on the euro against the dollar during the month of October. So bringing these biases into us, into our charts is key. That's kind of why we pay attention to this. And I also wanted to show you just our new feature. I wanted to kind of make this a public announcement. We announced this to members inside of the group on Friday. We now have officially released our A1 trade tracker, which is available to VIP members. If you become a gold member, you get access to this tool, which basically gives you some in-depth analytics. So here's a bunch of recent trades that we have been taking inside of the group between myself and Frank. Of course, Frank is one of our analysts inside of the group. He takes his own trades, and he's been really, really killing it. He's still holding on to some of his crazy dollar yen longs and his shorts on the euro. I believe he covered a lot of it last week, but just a look at the group overall. So if anybody has been thinking about the group, we have decided, we've heard a lot of feedback, people saying, well, it'd be cool to get some analytics on it. We're working on it. We've got a mobile version as well, so members can now track the trades in real time. And the link for that will be down below in the description if you'd like to sign up and become a member. Take advantage of the sale while it lasts. There's a link and promo codes down below in the description. So again, going off of our idea with the euro dollar, we've been very short biased on this. We've taken a lot of shorts inside of the group on the euro dollar this year. It's been a really, really great pair to us. So hopefully we can continue to see that work out. But we've basically been looking for more opportunities to do some short side action. And some of the levels that we've been targeting or keeping an eye on are this level. This is really like a daily chart level, right? A beautiful daily chart level off of the 50% retracement. If price pops up into this area, you've got a nice little looking left. You have structure, right? You have the 50% retracement, and the trend is definitely on your side with the daily chart there as well. So, and then also of course, the Edge Finder looks pretty good. So we of course are expecting this to not work forever, right? We know that at some point the euro dollar downtrend will crack and go back the other way, but trying to time that is a losing game in my opinion, and it is better, and it has been better for us to just consistently sell this thing each time it rises. And so we are looking for an opportunity to do that again. I've got my eye on this one. Now, if you guys already know, or if you don't already know, I do have a dollar position long open already. We are long dollar Swiss franc from the pullback. Things looking pretty dang good here for our trade inside of the group. I'm not logged into my brokerage right now, but I'll just show you just so you know I'm not making this up. Here is the trade that we shared on dollar Swiss. So I'm in this trade here. I closed out a CAD yen for a small loss on Friday. Actually, I'm glad I did that because it actually went further down. Closed out of that, still in my dollar Swiss franc trade, and this also can be seen again. Now we've got the trade tracker. You can see which trades I'm in currently. So I'm floating 105 pips There's your edge finder bias. If you click on this, for those of you guys who are members, if you click on this, you'll also get the edge finder analysis for why a trade was taken. So very cool new features, and again, just the perks of growing over time. We've built our team bigger and been able to do cooler and cooler projects like this. So I'm long dollar Swiss. I am no longer in this CAD yen trade. It is not yet updated. It will update on the open of this week. Frank is in CAD yen long, dollar yen long, and a euro dollar short, with dollar yen killing it, CAD yen not going too hot, and euro dollar just about break even on his latest trades. So there you go. And again, at any point you can click it, read up on the analysis behind the trade. So really excited about that. We've got just more and more tools coming to the playing field here at A1 Trading. It's just been awesome. So dollar Swiss, again, yes, still looking for upside on this one. I mean, beautiful retest of the 38.2, and on the lower time frames, we also got a fib retracement as well. But what I'm looking at for here on dollar Swiss, if we're narrowing in a little bit on the 1 hour chart here this week, what I'm looking for is basically a retest to the highs. And if we basically highlight this, what we've also seen is this was kind of the key spot for me. This is where I was looking to trail stops, was this break here. So we actually had this supply zone turn now into support. So perhaps if there is a second chance entry, if it does exist, it would probably be for me looking something like this, like retests in this area, and still continuations to the upside. Like I said, that's kind of the target idea, is to get back to those highs. And if that happens, I'm not necessarily going to take profit. I'm going to look to continue to trail stops on this trade. So I do like dollar Swiss to the long side. Let's talk about gold here, see what's going on with XAUUSD. Gold, a little bit of a rebound here towards the end of last week. In fact, a nice rebound alongside euro and some of the other ones. That's a really incredible 6,000 pip move to the upside there, which of course, if you trade gold, you know the volatility on this is very, very high. So nice little push to the upside though. Like I said, same thing with the dollar bullish thesis. I would be very careful as gold starts to rally that we don't get too optimistic, because we are still facing quite a significant amount of resistance overhead. Now, let me give you the bullish case in just a second, because I don't want to just sound like I'm perma bear on this stuff, because I definitely am not. I've made some good money on the long and short side of gold, but right now the money is flowing to the downside, and that remains kind of our bias. And so as we come up into an area like this, to me, we've already started to see a bit of rejection, but if you get a retest of that area, still just biased towards looking for sell side continuation on this market until we get something different. And let me show you what that would look like to me. So again, downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. You want to see the opposite extremes happen, in my view, before you can really confirm, okay, things might be trending back the other direction now, right? And what that would mean would probably be these levels where we're saying, oh yeah, sellers are very strong in this area. For a bullish case scenario, you would want to see us be completely wrong about that, right? So you'd want to see price come up to these areas and just make us look like an idiot. That's, to me, what a reversal tends to be. A reversal, I had a great conversation recently on the podcast, if you caught that episode that we uploaded yesterday. We talked about reversals and how some of the most powerful reversals are usually psychologically the powerful ones, right? So you have this downtrend, right, where all the sellers are very, very much confident, and for good reason. There's probably a good chance that this thing continues to be under pressure. But then there's a total failure. And if that happens, it's a big if, but if it happens, that's more grounds for a good sized reversal, in my opinion. You need that big breakaway psychological destruction. You want to see other traders getting put in trouble. And it's a weird concept to think about, but it's really important in trading if you think about it, right? If we take a quick look at like the S&P 500, the S&P 500, as it just continued to march higher, it had sort of this freak out moment where, I mean, several times now, where the entire stock market, right? This is where so many people invest long term. You had this sort of uptrend that was just beautiful, just a cookie cutter 2020, 2021 rally that just, if you were long, you were making so much money, which was great. I was fortunate enough to be in that situation. I've been less fortunate to stay in it and hold on to a lot of that. But fortunately, I'm still up overall. Regardless, let's look at this further. So price comes down to this area and we just fail, right? Big failure at that level. that's psychologically draining to a lot of sellers or to a lot of bulls, and sellers might come in and take advantage of that, and they certainly did. They swung it to the downside. And then a second big failure that put huge red flags on us for the stock market was this, right? We shot up extreme, but then sellers just continue to come in strong, and it's on these candles. These are the true powerful reversal candles where you're starting to see a total failure at a key breakout point. So back to our thought process on gold as we look at it even on the daily chart, we've got this downtrend. For the bulls to really take over, we want the sellers to panic a little. We need to see this, right? That move, which is unlikely but possible. If that occurs, then, notice I'm using two keywords though there, if, then. Can you blame me? I'm a programmer. This is, my background is in coding, so I use these words as often as I possibly can. If we get a major strong rebound move on gold that breaks the spirit of the sellers, then we may have grounds to look for continuation buys. But until that happens, guys, the path of least resistance for me is selling into rallies, right? Because unfortunately for a lot of bulls, they do what I said I think is a foolish thing to do. They assume that big rally is coming forever, right? And they just keep sitting there and getting burned and stop losses getting hit and, you know, massive drawdowns, right? That's the unfortunate consistent theme of retail traders, is they constantly will just assume that they're right, and their arrogance gets in the way. They just sit there and get destroyed by a move like this. And of course, I'm not trying to pick on anybody. That's just the reality of retail trading, unfortunately. And I'll show you guys an example. Let's show some examples here. If I go to retail sentiment, we added this new chart to the Edge Finder, which I think is really kind of clean. We could take a look at, for example, AUDCHF, right? This pair is 94% based on client positioning, 94% long. Let's go look at what's been going on. Do you think it's going up or do you think it's going down? It's going down, right? So retail traders, what are they doing? They're buying this thing consistently and desperately hoping that it rebounds like crazy. And when it doesn't, it leads to blown accounts after blown accounts after blown accounts. This is the consistent theme. And we could go do the other extreme just to show you guys. We'll skip dollar try because that one's pretty obvious. Let's do dollar CAD, right? Dollar CAD has 91% of retail traders are short. Dollar CAD flying high, right? It's a simple observation that if you guys pay attention to, it can be really powerful. It's not magic. It's not going to make you a super profitable trader just knowing that, but it's something to put in your toolbox. And that's everything in the Edge Finder. That's the entire purpose of the software. It's basically the things we've picked up on along the way. We also have price forecast sheet. We have all these different indicators and features that we ourselves use. That's the thing, is like everything that you see on the Edge Finder, we've put there for a reason. We've built it. Our team has, you know, drawn this up from the ground, come up with the ideas, come up with the parameters, programmed it, designed it, tested it, you know, all that sort of good stuff. So we definitely encourage you, if you are looking for more data, if you want that sort of stuff in your trading, try out the Edge Finder, get a copy. The link is down below in the description. And we're supposed to end our sale on Friday, but I'm leaving it open just for YouTube members. If you guys, or YouTube followers, if you guys want access to the Edge Finder before the sale ends, get it literally today. We will be closing the sale today by the end of the day. So the code will no longer work, but if you use the code YTVIP down below in the description, you can get access to the Edge Finder for 30% off. And like I said, that is a sale that is coming to a close. So we've been trying to get more people to use the tool. We've opened up the doors for more users. Again, it comes with so many different currency pairs, all your different favorite ones: euro, pound, Swiss yen, you know, all the commodities as well, or some of the major commodities. If you take a look, we've got gold, oil. We can also look at the indices: US 30, UK 100, SPX 500, the DAX, the Nikkei, right? You've got all these different options. And you can basically scan and get a bias on each one based on the metrics that we follow. So again, check it out if you want a copy. Let's look at some more pairs here, see what else is going on for this week. Dollar CAD, speaking of it, while we're on it, dollar CAD looks continuously bullish. And for me, you know, there's just no trying to call a top. And if you follow my channel for long enough, you'll pick up on that. Like basically, I'm truly just a trend follower. I follow the market. I look for opportunities to get in the market. I'm not trying to pick the very top and be the first one to buy it in an uptrend. I'm looking to just ride the momentum, make some profit, and get out, right? So as we come up into this area here, dollar CAD looks interesting today. Could we get the breakout, right? If we get the breakout, we could just see a continuation, and there's no bounds to how high dollar CAD could go, right? So if we go like this, and we see a move like this week, then the operation just turns into looking for pullbacks. And I do believe that we have dollar CAD as a bullish, let's see, major currency pairs, dollar CAD. Yep, dollar CAD's continuing to get a bullish bias, actually at +5, which is a pretty strong bullish reading on the edge finder. We have COT data lending towards very much strong bullishness on the dollar and very weak outlook on the CAD. Very interesting there. We take a look at retail sentiment. The crowd, like we said earlier, is 91% short, very heavily on the short side. Definitely a red flag there for dollar CAD. For dollar CAD bears, like I said, this thing continues to look so strong to the upside. We take a look at retail sentiment. We already looked at that seasonality. I mean, the month of October still looking strong. November and December. For the rest of the year is expected to see a positive growth on dollar CAD. So there you go. Trend reading. Momentum is to the upside here. You can see on the momentum scan, and then a little bit of mixed on the fundamentals. But overall, dollar CAD, again, breakout move today, looking very interesting for possible breaks and retests. And then also the deeper retracement could be of interest as well. If we take a look at, if you're just looking for bullish setups, the idea for me would be break and retest entry or pullback entry, and looking for one of these levels to try and scoop it up. Now, of course, that's my opinion. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your trading account. This is just me going through my charts and going through my setups. I do like dollar CAD long, along with my idea with dollar Swiss. I think that we have a nice operation here on the dollar, just continuing to ride it long. Now, of course, like I said, it can change, and when it does change, we will adapt. But for now, the idea is don't try and call the top, just try and ride it out. So that's at least my philosophy there. Let's take a look at dollar yen as well. Dollar yen stuck at a really key spot, you guys. If you're watching dollar yen, it is very much pegged right up here across the top. So we have supply there, but we also have very strong demand just below price. So we're kind of just watching to see where this thing breaks. Right now, it looks very, very close to trying to make a break and run for the upside there, as the dollar continues to just be so strong with, again, the hawkishness from the Fed, right? Raising interest rates is almost a certainty, and with recession fears just looming, the dollar is just becoming more and more that safe haven asset that people are flocking to. So other currencies have really suffered this year compared to the dollar. The dollar has just risen and risen and risen. Of course, that won't go on forever, but until it stops, the story remains the same, just staying bullish, riding it out. And when it shifts, of course, I'll be trying to cover it on my channel as always. So a dollar yen, watching for that break and retest will be at least the key focus for me on there. If we do get a retest, you may get that option to potentially try and pick it up at the lows, anticipating a break later. But to me, this thing just has pressure to the upside until further notice. So, of course, if I take any trades on any of these pairs that I've been talking about, you will see it inside of the group. Like I said, the link is down below in the description if you want to get access to the Discord. And remember also that if you want the Edge Finder, it is ending its sale today. So get 30% off using the link down below in the description. And you can also get both if you want to bundle it. There's also options at the end of if you sign up for it, there's options at the end to bundle them both. So there you go. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great trading week. Trade safe, and we'll see you back next time.